Hi, this is Radhika. There is a song from Pardes. ये दुनिया एक दुल्हन, ये दुनिया एक दुल्हन दुल्हन के माथे की बिंदिया, ये मेरा इंडिया, I love my India. Today at NDTV we have with us director Raj Amit Kumar, who has portrayed a slice of northern India in his web series Bindiya ke Bahubali. Hi Raj, welcome to NDTV. And also we have with us his actors Ranvir Shorey and Sushant Singh.
Hi Radhika.
Thank you, Radhika.
Thank you for coming here. Raj, first question is to you. We know that the first season of Bindiya ke Bahubali is already streaming on MX Player for free, like you guys have already been saying so much here and there. Please talk to us about what made you pick this particular genre for this particular story, and for those who haven't watched this series as yet, please tell them why they should pick it up right away.
So, the why pick up this genre is quite simple. The genres we love, we have watched a lot and admired. See, crime genres usually tells us about society in large ways. So, I mean, I've always said that sex and violence shapes the world we live in. So I've grown up watching crime genres. Many of my favorite filmmakers are from the genre. So the decision was very simple. That let's make something in this genre. This also gets made quite a lot in India. So obviously there is a large audience for it. That's one of the reasons. Now, why this particular sort of making it in setting it up in North India and the way I have set it up, I wanted to touch through the genre the country we live in, right? So then having different social institutions kind of coming together in a Bahubali format, somewhere every human have that deep thing in himself that I am a gangster, right? so I think that has been one of the motivating force to see and to kind of through different characters bring that thing out that we all want to fight against what we think is wrong. So that's pretty much it, and I think that way it will connect with every human being who kind of takes some time to get into that universe that we have created. It's a fictional universe set in Bihar, so you should immediately go and watch it.
The series is a lot more entertaining than what he just sounded, but just wanted to bring that out. Yeah.
Wake up.
It's got violence, it's sex and like cussing and
Entertainment है ना, simple बोल दो ना यार.
It's entertainment.
But without the dirty picture, like we know.
Yeah.
Not the dirty picture.
Yeah, it's सारे टेढ़े characters.
If that was dirty picture, this is dirty, bloody dirty picture. Bloody dirty picture.
Okay, जैसा ये कह रहे हैं, ये ठीक कह रहे हैं. But जो भी है भाई, fun है, entertainment है, and I think biggest USP is the cast.
खुद ही बोल दिया.
और कोई बोल भी ना तो खुद ही दे. Self promotion का ज़माना है दोस्त.
That's true. So I just want to say I'm the best thing about it, but
Second best you could say. So we are the best things. No, I think so many good actors in one series. It's a rarity. So that is one USP. और एक बड़ा सा हम अभी भी कन्विंस कर रहे हैं अपने मेकर्स को कि भाई एक बड़ा सा पोस्टर हर शहर में लगाओ इतने सारे फेसेस के साथ.
Before another gang war sorts of just breaks between the cast members over here, I like to go to Ranveer. Chota Davan is the character that you play. It's very interesting to see you in this category, if I may, because we've either seen something of this sorts maybe in Son Chidiya, a little bit like Who is a Dacoit, and now this is a gangster sort of a thing, and mostly people remember you for all those characters that that you did really in the beginning, and this is something slightly different. So did you always want to be a gangster on screen, or this is something that Raj helped you experiment through with Chota Davan?
No, like Raj said, everybody thinks they're a gangster till the real gangsters show up or the cops show up. So I think you're referring to, because I started with comedy and this has some humor, this part, but it's not really comedic. It's a dramatic part. And I have, since you mentioned my 25-year-old career, I started with comedy, but slowly I have managed, fortunately, to move towards different kind of parts, to drama and well, mainly to drama. And yes, this definitely, like the most attractive thing about this part is that at the face of it, it seems like like the rustic gangster, but it's far more nuanced. There's far more layered, because his eye is not just looking at the broad strokes of the violence and the the how do I put it, he also delves into the human interactions, dynamics of the group, meaning the family and surroundings. So for me, playing this part, one of the great things was that it's a very layered part. It seems like just a gangster, but it's a far more layered part.
So started with the gangster roles, like we say, and now in Bindya ke Bahubali we see you as this cop, Mr. Manji, who is very mild-natured. He knows everything, how to work the system, but his voice pitch doesn't rise after a certain point. And your voice is a very, very characteristic feature of your personality. We've seen through and through your films, and even as your bit as the anchor that you've done so far. How was it managing and controlling the modulation of your voice, especially when it comes to playing such an authoritative character, that of a cop, set in a place which is full of gun-toting gangsters?
I think that was a very, very conscious decision between Raj and me, because it would have been very obvious, to play it that kadak cop, who तेज बोलता है और धमकी देता है और सब गिर जाते हैं, वो बहुत obvious होता. So how to make it more interesting? And एक तो I think the most fun part of this whole series is कि सारे पागल हैं. All the characters, they think they know everything, but life has other plans. So Murli Manji, again, he's been there in part of the system, and he knows that he's come to a place where he has to clean up, and obviously it's not all in a very lawful manner. So वो खेला खाया इंसान है, दुनिया देखी है उसने, डिपार्टमेंट को भी समझता है, समाज सोसाइटी सिस्टम को भी समझता है. So we played it in that way, that let's make him a very regular guy who knows his power, but he doesn't have to show it. So and then became interesting.
And after you did, like, I will dial it back to Savdhaan India a little bit. When you talk about power, as somebody who became the face of people being secure and alert about what is happening around in the society without being sensational about it, did you experience that sort of a power once you were off screen, when you met people around you? What did they came up with? That, do you understand the gravity of the reach that you had while you were on the show, or did it come up to you afterwards?
Power is the last thing I would say. It was scary after a point, because see, I am just an anchor. I was just anchoring a show and giving you a message that how you can be aware, how you can fight back crime. But a lot of people are very innocent, so they start thinking that I actually had the power to solve their problems, or tell the police that take action. So they come to you with those expectations, and that is scary. It's a huge responsibility which people have thrust upon you unknowingly. How to deal with that became a big issue. So after a point, I tried my best to connect people to NGOs or to some lawyer, and I had to tell them very politely that आपको गलत फहमी हुई है, मैं इतना बड़ा आदमी नहीं हूँ कि मेरे कहने से पुलिस एक्शन ले लेगी. So that was rather scary part, I would say.
People come to you with Khosla Ka Ghosla, and then there is Mithya, and then there's also Bheja Fry. I feel we need to also talk about Dominic. Traffic signal. So after all these years, are you somebody who goes back and just has a look on the kind of characters you've done, and does Dominic stand out for you in some way? If yes, then how?
No, I don't sit and dwell over my past work, I spend more time worrying where the next one is going to come from. And Dominic is special, I have to say, because that was again a very like a fabulous part. That love story between Dominic and what was Konkana's character? I forgot her name. That love story was fabulous, and I can only say I wish I would get more parts like that. That's all. I mean, it's really close. It's one of those parts which is still very close to me.
And about reality, like we were talking from Savdhaan India to you, I don't want to get into the whole Bigg Boss thing, who you like, that
Please
is
do.
going on.
Everybody is.
No. I want to ask this basic question because I've only heard from here and there people saying ki nahi, it's not reality. What is
No.
there, it's scripted.
It's not scripted. It's not scripted, but they are. I mean, broadly they are able to manipulate you, right? Like if I'm controlling your food and water, and generally able to give you, that you, if you don't do this, you're going to be tied outside. You'll obviously do something in the opposite direction. So I mean, broad manipulation is obviously there. Otherwise, how will they create the entertainment? If they don't create conflicts, who's going to, then what's there to watch? That's the whole show. But it's not scripted. Nobody was telling us, अब तू जाके उसको ये बोल, अब तू उससे लड़, ऐसा नहीं है.
We spoke before and you said that the original name of the series was not Bindya ke Bahubali. I will not get into what it was, but what happened, why did you have to change the names, and also the casts that are being referred to inside, they sound somewhat similar to what we hear in our real life, but they are not exactly. No one can really point out that this is what it is. Like we have Dawans, we have Asage, if I'm not wrong, things like that. So how
Bhamir.
did you, and Bhamir, how did you go about navigating this, like, freedom of expression versus censorship, and how does a creative artist swim between these two poles?
So, like the first part of your question, which is about what the title would be and how the promotions will be, how it would be seen. I think that's decision made more by the producers, right? You ultimately have a choice that you have put forward, but then the decision is made, and ultimately the title works, right? Title works in a way like we had discussed earlier. It's Bindiya, India, and everybody's Bahubali. So it has that sort of massy appeal also. So that's that. Now, in terms of negotiating, like it's difficult at this time more than before ever. It has always been difficult when you want to say something straight about the society we live in. Clearly telling names of whatever you want to say about it becomes a complicated endeavor. And so when you are dealing with the producers who are gonna put money behind it, they kind of will negotiate with you that this much we can do. So there's a two very different kind of censorship I'm talking about. One censorship is state censorship, which happens through censor board, and which everybody becomes sort of obligated to, including the producers as well as the filmmakers who are making it. And then there is a second level of, you can call it censorial, it's a financial censorship in a way. You can call it a negotiation between an artist who have gone to a producer asking to put the money, and this is the story I want to tell. So that was a negotiation in the sense that let's not have the names of the casts as their real names. You still able to create that world, still able to create that universe, and tell your story, but not having the exact things. Would I if I have a producer who will put money and say go directly with the names, I would love to have them and do that. But if that negotiation is happening and you still can tell your story and have all these amazing creators working with you on that story, then you kind of negotiate and be okay.
I don't think our society is mature enough to deal with no censorship or no, I think it stems from there. If our society would manage to express their dislike, disdain without violence, we probably wouldn't have censorship.